Alrighty then, while the gang fag little bitch boys are busy driving up and down the street, I am going to remake this video that I just made. Perfect video, only this time I'm going to turn my camera on. That might make a little bit of difference. Now, like any real TI, not the lay on the ground doing the Fusion Center flip-flop TI, but a real TI, I've been going through, you know, everything, trying to figure out the starting point, trying to figure out who, what, when, where, all that kind of stuff. And I realized a long time ago that this isn't about some broad that can't let it go. That it goes way back before I even met her. So that's not the starting point. And I keep tracing it back farther and farther and farther. And knowing who this is helps me. And I'm going back through the people in my life because this can track to friends I've met, you know, under weird circumstances. Girlfriends I've had who I met under weird circumstances. Jobs, all that kind of stuff, and I can keep taking it back and back and back. And I look at the people that treated me like shit. One was my dad. I kind of figured he treated me like shit because I wasn't his. And then I remembered his dad, my grandfather. He treated me like shit. He was a member of the 666 Society, and I hope this wind isn't messing with my camera. I apologize if it is. But he lived next door to the lodge. And he was a big military guy. And he was involved with the Legion and something else that's got to do with veterans and everything. And I remember seeing him dress up all the time for the dinners and all that kind of stuff. And I remember he had all kinds of decorations all over. I don't know what they were, so I'm not going to speculate, but I remember his hat. I remember all that stuff. And this guy, I always hated his guts because he always treated me like shit. And in tracing this stuff back, I'd like to ask you a question. How old were you when the FBI got your voice print? That's a trick question. Have you got any idea how old I was when my mother took me into a room and there were people there that identified themselves as FBI with some machines, some books, and it was not surreptitious or covert, but it was all above board and everything. They wanted me to read these things right here. The only thing about what they wanted me to read, I remember that it really focused on S's in one of the paragraphs. But I'll tell you how old I was when the FBI got my voice print. I was single digits of age. Now there was a plausible excuse that they gave me. Of course, I'm sure it wasn't true. I'm not going to go into it here. But it's tied to my schooling. And this mystery of my lineage, my mother perpetuated it. Because I had my dad, who I'd known all my life, but my mother told me it was this other guy. And this other guy she was married to. And this other guy was the president of a brewing company. And later in life, I went to meet this guy. And see if I could see my real father. If you could picture Sergeant Carter from Gomer Pyle, only the size of Hulk Hogan. I mean, this guy was huge. There is no way I got a drop of this guy's blood in me. So my mother lied about that too. I've told you I've always sought experts when I want information about things and everything. And years ago, I found an expert for what I was interested in at that time. And I told him a little bit about my life. And his response was, "Whoa, your mother knew something." Now what? I don't know. He didn't know. It wasn't really a big deal. It was just, hey dude, your mother knew something. And it's like, I'm trying to shield the camera here from the wind, but I don't know. Anyway, I can trace this stuff back to a child. Before I chose my wayward path. Why did I choose that wayward path? Because I wanted to be anything but like my dad. Mr. Corporate Executive. I didn't want to grow up and be anything like that guy. And I decided I'm going to do whatever I got to do to avoid being like that guy. And I remembered a lot of stuff that I'm not going to tell here. But I can trace this stuff back to that time. Now, who could I have offended as a single-digit aged child? That would last me my lifetime. It's not possible. Anybody who started this endeavor back then is dead by now. So this is not a personal vendetta. I can tell you, well, I'm not going to do that either. Anyway, so this leads to is this maybe something got to do with bloodlines? Is that what this might be? Bad bloodlines attacking the good bloodlines? Knowing this question of who is doing the gang fag little bitch boy activities, we know that they are satanic. Who would know the good bloodlines from the bad bloodlines? How far does that go back? Long story short, I am obviously on the gang fag little boys shit list, which to me spells Satan's shit list. Satan hates my guts, and he's attacking me through his little satanic child molesting, drug dealing bitch boys. And you know what I think? If Satan hates your guts, if you are on Satan's shit list, that is probably the very best compliment a human being could get. Something that the gang fag little bitch boy satanic child molesting drug dealing pieces of dog shit will never be able to experience. They've got the word, the Bible. We've got the word, the Bible. They chose the losers, because they obviously didn't get to the end of the book where it says God wins. Hope that helps. Talk to you later.